Hit my screen. Let me go to this area. It's running. Just give me a second. Okay, so if I wanted to recollect, guys, before we do it, we understand the tables, how the tables works. We understand the views, how the views works. We understand the store procedures, how the store procedures exactly works, and we understand the indexes as well, how the indexes are currently working on. Okay, these two things we already understand and we worked on it, right? So this is the one good thing that we have continuously seen. Okay, now we're going to be understand one thing called function. Function is the same thing, guys. Let's understand the function. Whatever you did it in a store procedure, if you remember, right? If I go to the store procedure and do something, okay, store procedures, you can do n number of things. Okay, store procedure, you can insert the data, you can captivate the data, you can, push the data into some other areas, you can do it. But functions are like something. If you want to get the data, like select a star from something, okay? So on these scenarios, but only one value. For example, let me go here. Okay, let me show some data here. So in the training one, if you have a go to the tables, so you have some tables here, right? One is like employee training table is there. Okay, so let me run this. Select star from training dbo dot select dbo dot training. It is not from the master. I just need to be change my database and run for this particular object. Cool. So here 1023 1024. Okay. So what happens here, right? If I wanted to add some more records 1023, if I click the 1023, so it's like if you went to any shops, guys, if you remember any shops, any kind of let's go to the bank. That is a good idea, good example. If you go to the bank, they ask for your account number. If you enter your account number, they'll get all the details there, right? Kind of a one small pop-up. So that is a trigger basically. Okay. So if you trigger one thing based on function, if you click on one column and it's pushed it, it's built everything for you. Okay, let me do that actually. Let me write a query for it. Okay, let me create one trigger so that you'll get, sorry, let me create one function. My bad. One function. Okay. What I'm giving here, create function, create function, get employee name. Based on employee ID, I just need employee name. Okay. You can go for the multiple ones. Get employee name. Open bracket. Okay. So from which column you wanted to get that? Which column you wanted to get that? Employee ID. EMP underscore ID is my column. Right. I'm creating a function with employee ID. Good. And this is the integer. I'm just closing it. Now it is required like what is written for me? It need to returns. What do you want to return? It should be in text. Varchar 20. It should be written in 20. So this is mine as this is all the time you're doing it. So below text will replicate the above text in simple functions. Okay. So create a function, get employee name. Based on employee ID, I need an employee name that is written as a text functions. Now let me begin the function. This is the begin function to write it. And I'm declaring my values. Okay. Declared. Right. Declare. What is the basically that you wanted to declare here? Correct. Employee name I wanted to declare. Employee name, which is has to come right at the rate employee name. This is a varchar which supposed to come. varchar 20. This is I'm declaring the variable, guys. Begin means my function is begin. Declare means you are declaring a variable, okay, which need to come. Now I'm using the select. Okay, select that my employee name here. Select employee name equal to employee name set at the rate employee name equal to employee underscore. This is we are going to get it here. Select employee name equal to employee name from. Now we'll go for the employee training. This is where we are getting to the picture, correct? Employee name. Now where, guys, this is not confusing. Just I'm writing a big code. That's it. Where employee ID equal to at the rate employee ID.
Sorry, you have written employee department.
So sorry, employee ID. You catch employee ID equal to at the rate employee ID. Just let me remove this one here. Okay, employee at the rate employee ID. What I am giving was this employee ID, what I am entering, right? That employee ID need to match. Okay, and return overall function with, sorry, R is missing. Return the overall function where at the rate employee name. Where condition is completed. Return. It. Employee name. So from employee details, where employee ID equal to employee ID from the employee name. Let me run this, guys. Let's see. Got any errors? Employee name is missing. Name is the end. Sometimes it's take the end as well. We run the end. Yes, successful. So this is I'm beginning, but I didn't end the statement. Okay, begin and end the two statements where you are writing something in between and ordering to execute that one. Okay, so this is the begin and you are ending it. I'm refacing this, guys. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm creating a function. Why I need a function? Based on my input. Okay, based on my input, I need output. Simple. Based on my input, I need something to get it. But there is a lot of tables. If I want to come every time and get this trigger is sometimes it's not good way, right? I'm getting one function. I'm creating one function, boss. I have this employee ID. I don't know who is employee is exactly. Can you give me the employee name? I'm asking to the system. Okay. What is his designation? What is his salary range? Something there's a sophisticated data. I don't want to go and run every day. Okay. This has happened. So when this is completed, right? So let me go ahead and refresh this. Once again, guys, it is refreshing. Okay, so which function is created related to this is the aggregated. This all are the functions is existing in the system, guys. If you see this is the aggregated function you have. Some other functions also you can go ahead and see that. But we have created. This is the Scala revenue, correct? So you can see this is the function that you have. DBO dot employee name is your function, correct? This is a scalar function that we created. based on certain input. Any doubts before I execute here?
No.
You good with that? Cool.
Yeah.
Now let me simply, there's a simple thing. Select. Saving it. Select star from, take this. Okay, if I run this one, there is a no invalid. Let me refresh this one. This is connected to. Let's directly write it. People dot. It is not coming in here. Still, it is not refreshed. Let me refresh the items. Just give me a second. This is the function we have created here. Let me write this way. Maybe this is the Oracle way this is taking. Select. What was getting here? Employee training. If I go and run this one, still it is the same way. 10023. Yes. One second, yes. Why it is not built-in function? Let me write something here. Wait a second. Once again, this is where I'm getting the missing here. I run this one, right? Select system objects, that is created object. but I don't have access to run this actually. This particular data, if you see, this is the one that's a schema ID generated. The name is this one. FN means function guys. TB is a table like that. You can see the system object, whatever is created. It is created there. Okay, sometimes there's a execute access is the one thing that you don't have a proper permissions to execute something in for your logins or for your credentials basically. Some that is the one issue that you will get it. But I don't know why it is not running. But whenever you run it right, you just need to be look it into the one thing. Okay. You just need to use the database, then go first. Let me try this one as well. Sometimes it's like wait, use training. Okay. This is working. Yeah, this is the one that you are looking into, right? Particular level, the database is the one thing that is confusing here. Maybe the version of the SSMS need to be cross-checked once. Okay, that is one thing that you need to be parameters as well. Let me check the permissions is the issue. But you can see this. This is also your one thing, guys. If you want to permanent, just this is recording, right? You can see this all code that I'm writing for the permissions. Okay, help text is the one thing. I can use the help text for the executing. If something is not executing, then I'm giving my function name which I just created, dbo dot get employee name. Yeah, I think I need to be more specified because it's a. Okay, this is also get function employee name. Get employee name. That is correct. DBO. But let me give this. This is the one, guys. All the time, remember this. If you are not executing properly something, you can use this function. Okay. Let me give it in the this one. Maybe sometimes my server is also can create an issue. Okay, you're following, right, guys?
No.
Yes, yes.
Somebody is no, somebody is yes. I'm saying this system is not compatible. My system, right? This is my local, right? That's the reason it's giving an issue. Whenever you get it, you can use this SP. Okay, SP underscore help test. Then it will gives you this one. This is where we are created. You can see this is the text that we have in the format, right? This is we created the employee ID integer and the varchar should be output. So this is the one which we have created. It means that it's existingly available in the system, but not executing. You understand my point, right? So it's not executing. So that means that these are capabilities of the issues sometimes. So you don't need to bother about it, but try in your local system. Okay. Execute that. Sometimes maybe let me grant the access. Maybe my access also. You can grant the access to yourself or some other places. The function is also I'm writing grant execute. Okay, grant execute on function. Grant execute on function. dbo dot get employee full name. Get employee full name. Two. This is the user that I'm logging in, right? Basically, this is the users I'm looking into basically. This is the security of the cache number. Let's see whether the user is available or not. Then I can use the cache number. dbo dot. What is the issue with the dot? Completion time is done. Functions are not capabilities in this. Whenever you write any kind of function here, it's not taking it on. This function is not recognized, even though it is created here. This is great. Okay, so I'm not able to give the grant the permission here. That's the reason that is not getting into this. Second, let me write all the code once. So one thing, guys, this is the create function for it, and whenever you execute it, right? Sometimes you just need to be use that sample once and to create something over there. And that create, right? Whenever, not only currently, whenever you create it, it has to be in the similar ways. Okay. I'm using the same, right? Employee training table only. This is the employee training table only. So this is not an issue. And this is not an issue as well. Wherever you entered in the data, that is not also issue. When you delete something, this is just scalar statement. It has to be written the scalar statement. Just checking why this is incompatibility is there. Right finding. Now let me go for the EMP ID. Employee training, employee dot. No, it's not available, right? So it is there, and it should be available. This is the one issue we are facing now with the functions. Scalar function, get employee dot stage. Functions are not recognizing to run it here. It should be at the things there. We have to, get into the picture. It's not even using the database to run it. Okay. Yeah. So just remember one thing, guys. This is to be run it, but next session just remind me to come up with a small example which need to be commit, or I have to do it in my local system. Okay. My local system, sorry, my office system. I'll just do it. Somehow it's creating it, but it's not giving the similar parameter to me. Go ahead and build that. So this is the employee parameter. Everything is built, guys. Parameter is built. Okay, this is the parameter that I just need to be add the data. Scalar values also built. Okay, so this is new scalar, and I can go ahead and build my own scalar function here as well. So everything is built, but I don't know why it is not executing the things. That's a native level. Just script function as a scalar level function. That's going to be valued function. So it's up to us, but let me give it time. This okay. Just quoted the result value also quoted. Yes, there's no compatibility that. Okay, this is the one thing. So let me go with the secondary thing, guys. Guess this one thing, keep it in a pending, but any questions? I don't think so. You have any questions to create it, right? Only while executing, right? It asks you for the employee ID. Like, please give me employee ID. Like, this is the store procedure we did it yesterday, if you remember, right? For example, get employee details like something or insert employee details. If I go to the insert employee details and execute my store procedure, I'll get it. Right? The similar way, you need to give this parameter. This is the parameter if you see, right? These all are the four parameters you built it. If you give the input, it will come. If I go here, there's the parameters and the same parameters you will see here. The same way functions also, if you see the parameter and the parameters also, you have a parameter. But I don't know, there's no default values there. It's not getting into the picture. Maybe this is the local system which you don't have a built-in function to do it. Every time you need a built-in function to execute that and work on it. Okay. There's a one thing that is majorly needed. Right. So let me go to the second option here. There's any questions as of now? Except in execution, you don't need to bother about the execution. I'll take care of it. Next practice session, we'll do it. Okay.
So I didn't get parameters.
Parameter which you need something like a filter. Okay. What you want to filter based on what your input is giving. That's what you call a parameter. So for example, if I go here and if I execute my all insert data, so I'm creating 4 parameters to insert my data. Sorry, execute it, execute stored processes. Okay. So what I'm giving four parameters. Parameters are the providing input values. To do input values, to do filter values. Two things are parameters of the point of view. Okay. We
Okay.
both are the parameters where you can insert the value here if you want, or if you want to retrieve the value, you given one instead of using every time the name of ID, name of new value, new column, last column, every time you don't need to use it. Once you create it, it automatically going to be take care of that. That's what your parameter is calling about. Okay. Second guess. Okay. Let me remove this. Let me remove this as well. Yeah. So let's go with the schema. Okay, remember guys, schema is a one thing that is built-in function, right? Schema is a logical container for the database objects like tables, views, and all. Yeah, say something. Somebody saying something actually. Yeah, fine. So schema is a logical object, guys. Okay, is a logical object like view or table, whatever you're calling it. It's a logical container, I can say. Instead of a object, I can call it as a container as well. People call it as an object as well for database especially. So it organizing and managing the data for a particular level. Okay. So for any particular level, there should be one schema. Schema is in a simple terminology, guys. How you are building your table is a schema. Okay. That is basically something that you do, right? Let me add some schemas here. So let me close the functions here. Programmability, you can see the programmability here. Okay. So to access the control to do anything, the schema is most important. We just write it the DBO and all, right? What is a DBO means? A DBO dot DBO. This is the one schema we called database objects. This is the one schema. Okay. Database object DBO. Okay, there's again a spelling mistake. Yeah. So database object is a one thing that we call it as a DB. So there is a one thing, guys. If you go to the any other teams like something, there is a multi-factor schemas would be there. Okay. So whenever you go, you're creating a table, right? Not only currently, any created schema would be a permanent schema for you. Once you started creating the schemas, like provided a way to logical group, it would be permanently until unless you change the schema. Once this is the default schema for me. If I want to build my own schema, I can do it. Let me do this way. Okay. So I just need to be provide some of the access as a finance user, HR user, then that data will only work. For example, guys, let's assume Madhava is a person from finance. Okay, I'll give you this example instead of directly explaining the theory. Madhava is the person who belongs to the finance, correct? So he had the access to the finance data. He can see the other data as well, but he cannot change anything. He just have access to read it. Okay, so how do you do that? You just assign the particular schema which you built it by you. You can do that. Let's create a schema here. Okay, so that is a kind of a restriction I'm providing based on the schema. Create schema. Okay, called finance. This is the finance schema that I'm building here. Okay, schema, and just I'm not doing much things, guys. Just creating it here. Command created successfully. Now what I'm doing, I'm creating a new table here. Create table. Okay, create table. I'm giving a name as finance dot what I can say, salaries. So it means that it's going to be like your next ID. For example, employee ID equal to integer, comma, salary into integer. I'm not building anything. Employee ID and salary. That's it. Okay. So these two things are already here. So I just need to be build this. Sorry, create this table here. Guys, what I'm doing? I did new schema. I created a new schema. I'm creating a new table here. Let me execute the new table. These are two things are there. Now let me refresh this. You see some differentiations here. Schema is things that how do you build your structure for the tables. Okay. Your tables, somehow your tables are there. You can see DBO courses, DBO department, DBO employee training, DBO enrollment, database object is a default. Okay. Default schema for that until DBO students. But last table looks like finance salary. Why I need this finance salary? You can, it's when you see it, it automatically you can see, boss, this is finance table. If you only have the access, go ahead and execute and see it. If you don't have access, even you try it also, it's not going to be open for you. It shows that you are not authorized persons to connect this data. Even you know that you have the access to this particular training database. You have to grant the particular access to this table to prevent the data loss for the security purposes. I'm building a new structure for my own tables. You got it, guys?
Yes, yes, yes.
Any questions, team? Apart from that?
No, no.
No.
Actually, can
Good.
you tell again the functions, if possible, like tomorrow or Monday?
Hey, I'll explain you function. That's what I'm saying. Okay, no, I have to
Yeah,
log in from my office laptop to execute it.
yeah.
Okay. That's what be the thing. That's the reason I'm just
Actually,
giving this one.
we
Okay.
confused the one.
I
A
didn't
schema
understand.
is okay. No, no, functions. We confused about the
I'm confused. Okay, you are confused. Okay.
function.
You don't have a
Yeah,
clarity on the function. That's okay.
yeah, yeah,
Creating functions, you have a clarities, right? So till that
yes,
is fine. Schemas, you're good with
yeah,
the schemas.
yeah.
Schemas,
Schema.
you're good with the schemas and all, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So now, okay. Now the conditions like, let's discuss about the functions, some of the functions. One second, guys.